What's up, guys? So you just saw all that good stuff in the beginning, and don't forget DCS4 July 24th, 25th. This is the DCS3 playmat. It's really sick, and you guys, I'll throw the DCS4 playmat up here in just a second. Top 8 get it, along with all those good old cash prizes. We know that's what you guys like. Link down below. Come join Dragon Rider Games, and stay tuned for the DCS4 with the new ban list. So without further ado, guys, enjoy your video. So just like the title of this one says, today we are doing hand traps. Which hand traps are very useful, which hand traps are still strong, which hand traps are probably better off in your side deck or very deck specific, and are there hand traps that really just are not that good this format? I mean, I feel like there always is. So for obvious purposes, we left out, certain cards like Miscellaneousaurus, Orange Light, things like that, where there's one specific deck that plays those cards, because that's kind of irrelevant as to a best hand traps of the format type talk. Starting us off, first and foremost, Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, Foot Ash. I think you can Ash every single deck. Like, is there really a deck out there that you can't Ash? I mean, I'm sure there is, but like, seriously, any relevant deck, you can use Ash. It might not be super impactful, it might not completely shut down their turn, but for the most part, I mean, Ash is pretty effective right now. You can Ash like Fractal, you can Ash the Meltdown or the Alistair. I mean, because like, what are the odds they open Meltdown, Alistair, and Invocation? I swear, it's like only 60% of the time. So if you Ash the Meltdown or the Alistair, that means 40% of the time you're golden. Otherwise Drytron too, you can hit, if you want to hit the Benton still, if you want to hit Alpha, you can hit the Fafnir and stop that dump, which is actually pretty good too, because sending the Gamma really does help their plays extend and continue to keep going. Ghost Bell is super versatile right now too. I'm really happy I got my secrets when I did, like, because they were really cheap. They dropped below like $20 at one point for first eds, and I went and scooped them all up. But Ghost Bell is also really good. Being able to Ash or Ghost Bell like Scarlet Sanguine. I expect Eldritch to be more popular now than it has been the last few formats as well. Ghost Bell, just pretty good one too. Like, you can hit Revolt, you can hit the Schism, you can hit, like we said, Sanguine. Obviously you can Ghost Bell any of the Drytrons if they're in the graveyard, or Gamma if it's in the hand, since Gamma does summon from grave too. But yeah, so Ghost Bell, Ash, two very, very useful hand traps for this format. Chaos Hunter, I'm going to put it as a side deck card. It's teetering side deck and not very good. I guess, would I play it? No, I wouldn't recommend playing it. As far as not banishing, I mean, it hits Tri-Brigade pretty good, Eldritch pretty good. Yeah, we'll leave it at side deck, I suppose. Like, if they activate, or when they link off into like Artemis, or if they go for the Almirage Secure Gardna, I mean, come on guys, go Artemis. It's one less card that you're using. Like, more extra X space is good. Anyway, when they go into that with their Invoked, you can summon your Chaos Hunter, and now they won't be able to use Invocation unless they have all the cards in hand. So again, pretty good there. Cycle Reader, Drytron's back, so people say Cycle Reader right away. It also actually hits Eldritch. Being up to 2 cards is very, very big, because, well, you guessed it, you can hit that one Eldritch out of the grave. You can slow them down. Pretty good side deck card for like Eldritch for Drytron, and inadvertently too, it actually can like take out the couple light cards that Dragon Link run. It hits Cyber Dragon pretty good. ABC is a strong rogue deck. Like, it does have some pretty decent uses. So Cycle Reader's actually decent side deck card. Spooky Dogwood, just not that good. I mean, if you're going for a card that you want to win in time with, I guess now it's a side deck card for time, but it's either not good or a side deck card for time, which to me, it's just not that good. Droll Lockbird, I mean, Invoke, Shaddoll, Dogmatica, they kind of search a lot. I mean, they have Meltdown, they have Terraforming, they have Alistair, they have Ecclesia, they have Nadir Servant, they have, you kind of get the point. Drone Lockbird's pretty good there. Tri-Brigade, they search out the one monster off their Nerval. Guess what? They can't get to Revolt now with the Bear Bloom. So if they didn't open Revolt, they just lost the Revolt play. So Droll Lockbird is still good there too as well. And as far as Drytron goes, well guys, Droll Lockbird kind of says no to Drytron overall. Side deck. This isn't, like how I said, side deck or like deck specific. this is one of those very deck specific hand traps. It's a very useful card. It's a very strong hand trap, but it's so deck specific. I am gonna put it down here because Guru can play it really well. Grandmaju can play it really well. I have builds of Cyber Dragon that can play it. Like, you really got to change your deck up if you want to play D-Shifter, and there's not necessarily anything wrong with that. Phantasme, most of the decks are going through links right now, and a lot of them put out multiples at one point in time, or so that's always good when you can look at the next 3, put a brick back in your deck, especially like if you're playing Dragoon and you can open one of your cards. Well, guess what, now you can draw a couple and then you can put that brick back into your deck. So I really do like Phantasme right now. Gamma's pretty strong. You Gamma Fafnir, you can Gamma Fractal, you can Gamma Alistair, you can Gamma, well, Gammaing Oviraptor is a little bit easier now with Mist to 1. You can Gamma the first Prank Kids card. You can get, you get the point. Gamma is really, really strong. It does carry the brick of Driver along with it. But not only that, you can start, you open your 1 Mist, you banish it, they Lancia, or they Shotgun Lancia, you can stop it and use it to actually counter your opponent on your turn. So I do really, really like Gamma right now. No Material, man, there's just so many better going second or hand traps. I would not play No Material right now. It's just not that good. Imperm, pretty good card. I guess it's the best, right? Just wanted to go to the front. It's got to be the Cyber Dragon art. Infinite Impermanence, really good hand trap right now. Dodging chain blocking, not that that's a huge issue. I mean, Tri-Brigade chain blocks, but most of their chain blocking's in the graveyard anyway. But Infinite Impermanence is a really strong hand trap at the moment. Artifact Lancia, still really, really strong. It really shuts down Tri-Brigade. It can hurt Invoked. It can hurt Eldritch, Dino. Like, it's got some good uses. I personally don't know if I would put it on this level, but it's probably the best still strong hand trap. Ghost or Skullmeister right there behind it. A lot of the cards in the format revolve around you being used in the graveyard. And keep in mind, like Eldritch that banish for cost out of the graveyard, you can't Ghost Spell them, they're already gone, but you can still Skullmeister them. Ghost Mourner, I'd rather play Imperm or Veiler. So I'm going to put it as not good because I'm not going to side deck Mourner. And at that point, like, I'm not going to main it, I'm not going to side it, so it's got to go in the not that good category. Nibiru, I'm probably going to get a lot of flack for this. I'm not big on Nibiru. I don't think Nibiru is that great. Tri-Brigade, guess what? They summon Appaloosa by summon number 5. Invoked anything, summons Makaba by summon usually number 3. Drytron, I mean, they have a couple openings sometimes. A lot of the time, I should actually say, where you can hit Drytron. I mean, if it's your only hand trap, Dinosaurs is going to get to that miss before you can Nibiru, so I wouldn't say they're very good there either. Eldritch, it's not that good again. So, I mean, if you're going to play Nibiru, I would definitely side deck it for those matchups like Drytron, where you're like, where you know it's going to be good. I also think Ghost Ogre is actually a pretty strong hand trap right now. Like, you hit, say, even if you hit, like, Fafnir, like, on the dump, when it dumps the card, they lose the 2 free ritual materials off of it. They lose a target for reviving from the graveyard. Like, it's actually decent in that regard. Obviously, you can hit, say, Meltdown. You can hit, like, just, there's Drytron. What else? I mean, Beatrice. I mean, you should have hit Fafnir by that point anyway, but at least then you stop 1 dump on your opponent's turn, or I should say your turn, because, they are your opponent. Tri-Brigade, they can banish the 2, and then you can pop it. It's actually kind of decent, because then they're going to, be forced to use Bear Bloom's discard 2 to summon 1 effect, and then link off into probably a Rugal, which isn't, again, you're avoiding the Appaloosa, so you're taking away a few negates that way, and you're also getting rid of, I mean, they might be able to put out the Ancient Warriors link too, depending on the rest of their hand. So it's, again, it's still strong. It's not going to be one of the very useful hand traps, but I do think Ghost Ogre's got some nice little uses this format. Ghost Reaper, if your deck can play it, your deck don't need the extra deck. What would you throw in there? Like, you could put Bear Bloom in there, shut off the Revolt play, kill one of those lines. You can hit, I mean, you could actually, like, Ghost Reaper, they normal Alistair, I mean, you take a risk, but like, what if you throw Artemis in there? You could just hit the Macabre, I mean, which would be the smart one, obviously, and you can double up on that, run a Nova Macabre in case they, use the Dogmatica. Can't even think right now, the one that you have to send two from your extra deck to the graveyard, Maximus, and then you send the Nova, you summon the Macabre, and you also have the Macabre as a free Reaper target, and Nova, ironically, works as a good Reaper target too. But yeah, otherwise, like, there's a lot of decks out there. Like, what you want to hit Fafnir, you want to hit Beatrice, you want to hit Meow Meow for prank kids. Like, there's a lot of really good Reaper targets, and decks are gonna struggle to go through that Reaper. Not quite as good as Imperm. Effect Veiler, still strong, still good. So, I mean, yeah, it's not Imperm, but it's still good. So this is kind of my ranking on Handtraps. These are the 5 best. These are probably the next 5, and these 5 are a little more situational, whether they're deck specific or pretty side deck specific. Again, Nibiru is probably the one you guys are gonna argue the most about, but I'm not big on the rock, guys. I'm just really not. So sorry for that, but let me know down below what you guys think. And yeah, so let's go out there and win the new format, guys. Take care.